Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, a lot of y'all sent this to me about the gentleman, and this is very perplexing, but I want to speak on this because you could find yourself in a situation like this and not realize it and not know it. And here's the thing, a lot goes into it, and it's a lot deeper than what you would assume. And remember, these videos are not specifically about the couple involved. With all the, I don't have any of the details. I didn't look at none of it. I didn't read none of it. What I want y'all to understand is I could look at it and know what happened and tell what happened because of the work that I do daily. And this message is not about them, it's about you. So that's what I need you to understand. Now, here's the thing that you gotta be mindful of, and this is what I try to teach y'all is when you meet somebody and you see that, and we'll speak from the man because it's a man who took the woman's life. If this man has never been him, he's not one of those ones. He's not one of those guys. He wasn't the ladies' man. He is studious and focused and driven and career oriented. He wasn't the star athlete. He wasn't the star dope boy. He wasn't that guy. When you notice that, that's your first sign to let you know that there's a 50-50 chance that he could be insecure. He could feel inadequate. He could feel less than. That already heightens the situation. That already puts you in a place where you could have to deal with some of his pain and some of his trauma. So you got to realize and understand that. The other thing you have to realize is that these men, some of these men have gone through some things. I got to watch my time here. Some of these men have gone through some things to the point that those insecurities drive them to do things that other men would not do. So when you see that the man keep cheating, keep lying, keep doing those type of things, that's when you have to realize, okay, he has a internal struggle. He has something going on the inside that has nothing to do with me. You got to realize and understand that. So in this case right here, you have a man who, and I'm gonna tell you what I suspect happened. What I suspect happened is that the woman got tired of him, got fed up with his narcissism, and decided she was gonna leave. And he say, no, you're not gonna leave. And so he took and say, okay, you gonna leave? I'm gonna take your life and my life. And what it is it's deep mental health issues, a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of insecurity. And a lot of times these people actually become successful because of that pain and insecurity and all of those things. A lot of these people will become successful because of their drive for significance, their drive for recognition, their drive to be seen, to be known, to be heard. And what a lot of this comes from is them being abused as a child, being abandoned as a child, not having anyone that really loved them, anyone that really cared for them. They come home with straight A's and there's nobody there to say good job. And again, y'all, I be having to spell this out. It's not specifically about them. That may not be his case. I'm talking in general. You have to perk up. Your ears got to go up. Your antenna got to go up. This here is my fade. Piece of glitter. Got to go up. And y'all look at this now. This is an Arnold Palmer. Okay, ain't no alcohol in here. And look at the rim of that cup that they had us drinking out of at the Western or South Lake. Where we having a 3B's conference. I want to see if you can see that rim of that drink. Now that's lemonade and sweet tea. But the rim got black stuff around it, like the cup. I got the cup from the bottom of the thing that's been sitting there forever. Just wanted to show that just so the Western and South Lake could give Coach Jessica 20% refund on the here event. Because they set us, and that's how I say the Lord set you up for stuff like that. He set you up for stuff like that. He let stuff like that happen so you get your little refund. Get your piece of that old refund. Oh yeah, y'all, they could have killed me. Ain't no telling. I don't know if my lips hit that part of it, but because the whole thing ain't like that. But y'all pray for me if I mess around and go through something. And also, I want to send a condolences out to one of my supporters. And she used to leave a lot of comments on here. And y'all maybe seen her comments because she would write in all capital letters. And it would be real long comments. Her name Constance Garrett. Her son wrote me. I just now seen it April 18th. He wrote me January 27th. But it's so many different folders that Instagram has. And so this was in the request, in the hidden, in the spam. And I just seen it. And he just wrote me today, and the Lord let me see it. And he wrote, "Cold nigga, you are." And I think that was him. I don't think that was a compliment, but I think that was him thinking that I was ignoring him. And I had to tell him in there, don't ever assume somebody ignoring you when they don't know you and they don't follow you. And the system you writing them on, they have over 900,000 followers. But a lot of times we get so wrapped up and caught up in our own stuff that we don't think about what somebody else got going on and who they are and where they are. And he just assumed that I saw his message. And I forgave him because he lost his mom and he going through a lot. But she would write me every day. Remember I told y'all sometimes my clients over 50, they'll text me. She's over 60, and she had booked and supported. She had booked to go to Costa Rica and had to cancel and lost, I believe, 80%. And then I think he said she had booked for the Dallas conference, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he was talking about Costa Rica. And so we'll probably end up doing a fundraiser. I would imagine by now they have buried her and everything. And that's what he was saying, that they didn't know if they was going to be able to put her away the way she deserved. But she was a big supporter of mine. And so if I hear back from him, then I may get on the phone with him and figure out the situation and see what all they got going on, and, you know, see how many kids that she had and stuff like that. Because she did talk to me about a son and about some of her family. So I'm going to see. But I want to give that shout out to her. So sad when you lose people. He said she passed away from a heart attack in her car. And that's just, and she would write me every day. She would send me a picture of her son, send me a picture of what she eating for lunch, what she eating for dinner. And my wife told me, she said, just be there for her. You don't know what she's going through. Like, just respond. Just let her know that she's seen. Let her know that you see her, and it just hit me so heavy to realize that she was in her last days, and God was trying to see if I'd be a friend to her, if I would be there for her. And I just would respond to her and be like, hey, that's amazing. That's awesome. Oh, that looked good. The picture she would send me. And you just never know. You just never know. And so, say that to say, you never know what people going through. But back to what we was talking about. This guy here, not him specifically, but this look and this image, and you think about how can somebody work in government and do something like this? How could somebody achieve that level of respect, that level of responsibility, that level of notoriety, and do this? And then his wife, from the picture I saw, she looked like a really, really, really light black woman, which also said a lot to me about the man. Because a lot of times, because he was lighter skinned too, and he looked like he was a melting pot of races. And then he got this really, really light woman who almost like back in the day would have been what they call white passing. But not really. It could just been that picture. Well, I could tell she got black in her, look like. But I say that to say, a lot of times a man who is in that type of position, and y'all have to understand, I'm talking off the top of my head, so I may not use all the right words for the stuff, what I'm trying to explain to you. So you got to take that in consideration when you're watching these videos. I don't have, this not rehearsed, this one take. But a lot of times those men like that, they don't feel accepted in those spaces, and they don't want a fully black woman because they feel black people are hated on and discriminated against and less than. And so they go for a lighter skinned woman or a white looking woman or a white woman. And it was almost like he wanted a woman that he can get credit for being with a black woman, but he really wanted a white woman, but didn't feel like it would be accepted in his industry, in his culture, in his what he was trying to do. So he wanted somebody who looked very, very light, but could pass as, oh, he's with his own. She just is light. And so we give him a pass, we give her a pass, if that's his wife who I seen. If not, then understand that's what those men who do that, that's a lot of times, that's what they be thinking. Is they trying to find somebody who passes. But here's the thing. When it's a black man, a lot of times when they choose somebody based off complexion, it's also a sign that they hate themselves. And they hate who they are. And they hate what they're going through. They hate what they're dealing with. And so what you have to realize and understand in those situations is that these individuals, they'll take, forgive me, I'm gonna have to take and get this here laptop. I see my dad texted me, and I need to be able to talk to him because he with the boys program today. Y'all, if the Lord been good to you, think about us. We got a trip coming up to Dallas, Texas, May 1st through the 3rd. And I'm trying to see if I can get Coach Jessica Friend to cook for us on that Friday night. But got a trip coming up. And so definitely we sure could use your support. We still about $6,000 to $7,000 short. So, because we got to book 2 Airbnbs, one for the 16-year-olds, one for the 17-year-olds, because not enough Dallas houses that's big enough with enough beds. And so we got to book that. And then we have to, as well, we got to get 4 SUVs, either 4 SUVs or 2 15-passenger vans. and then got to be able to cover food. So that's why I be fundraising so much, y'all. So forgive me. I don't be trying to be ghetto. It's just that, you know, I put my money with it and then also still be raising. Y'all got to forgive me. See what my dad's saying. So think on that now. Y'all gotta forgive me. And so this the thing is there'll be little signs, and like when I look at the man, I kind of could see a little bit. I would say I would say he got a little mix in him. And one thing I want y'all to think about too, and some of y'all have mixed children, but what I found as a life coach, a lot of mixed people go through a lot because they're not always accepted. A lot of times they too much of this or too much of that. Not enough, not black enough for the blacks, not white enough for the whites. He don't look like black and white. He just look like just lighter skinned black people. But even dealing with that, a lot of times lighter skinned black people will go through a lot because they are bullied and picked on, the men, by the darker skinned guys or being a punk, being soft. And then a lot of times the same thing, like we'll see, oh, light privilege. And light privilege is a thing in the world, like in the job place and in modeling and music, movies, all of that right there. That light skin privilege is a thing. But in your day-to-day life, a lot of light skinned people are picked on and bullied by darker skinned people. Just like a person who is on the opposite end of the spectrum, who is very dark, is picked on and bullied. But a lot of people don't like to recognize other people's struggles. Me being in the middle, I saw both of it. I saw the light skinned people getting picked on and bullied. I saw the dark skinned people getting picked on and bullied. I'll be more so what you call brown skin, but necessarily, I'm dark skinned, but I'm brown skinned. And so I got to see both. I never got picked on and bullied, but I was able to see both ends of the spectrum. And so sometimes you got to be able to sit back and see that. And so what I'm saying is when you meet somebody, you got to look at them and you got to look at their struggle. So I never was picked on. I never was bullied or anything like that. So I didn't have those struggles. But if I met somebody and I see that and I'm talking to them and I realize and I see that they are they introverted or they isolated or they picked on or they was abandoned or they really light or they really dark or they mixed or it's something unique about their life, something to where the world maybe didn't accept them right away or embrace them fully, then I'm gonna be mindful of that and think about and try to see if there's any trauma that came from that or if they are healed. So when you have a situation like this man, he going through and he feeling this trauma, he feeling this pain, he going through this pain, he going through this feeling, and it's hitting him. And so it's taken, and he dealing with all of this rejection, all of this. And so now that rejection turns into projection. It turns into projection. It turns into what they would call protection. And they start to try to, they want to try to control and almost imprison. So those type of people really need a human teddy bear. And that's where all of the gaslighting, the manipulation, the control, what y'all call narcissism, all of that will come from that brokenness, that abandonment, being overlooked. The labels and all that don't matter because a lot of times people mislabeling it. But when these people find who've gone through stuff like that and they find somebody that they can pigeonhole, somebody they can control, somebody that they can have attached to their hip and that they can dominate and dictate, they want that because they feel broken and hurt and lost. And so because they feel that way, they want to take and they want to have that person that they can dump all of their pain on. Dump all their pain on, dump all their shortcomings on. They want to dump everything on them. And so that's what you have to realize and understand is that that's their goal. They want to dump on them because what they trying to do is they want to have somebody that's their human teddy bear. They want to have somebody that is going to put up with all of their stuff. And they want those people to be able to deal with that and to handle all of that. And it's because of the pain that they're feeling. So understand that this isn't excusing the behavior, it is explaining the behavior. And the other side of this that you got to realize and understand is that there's going to be little signs. There's going to be little signs of abuse. It's going to be just little things to where how they talk to you, how they treat you, what they do to you, and all of those type of little things that if you're not careful, if you're not mindful, you will miss it. You'll miss those things that they doing, and it'll hurt you, and you'll cry, you'll be in pain, you'll be in agony, you'll be seeking their approval, you'll be seeking, trying to figure out how can I please them, how can I be better, how can I be perfect enough, how can I be good enough, how can I be this, how can I be that. And so you trying to please them and you trying to do the right thing and you trying to be the best you can be for them. You trying everything in you to get it right. But nothing you do is good enough. And you always in the wrong. You always less than. You always not enough. And then it's going to turn into the abuse. And the abuse now could be any kind. Verbal, emotional, physical, social, financial. It could be any kind. So any of that any form of abuse constantly repeated can lead up to, any of it can lead up to them not being enough. I mean, them taking your life, them going overboard. And here's the thing. You got to see, you got to pay attention. You got to ask yourself, is this person that I'm dealing with, is this person I'm dealing with, hold on one second. Is this person I'm dealing with somebody that's happy within themselves? Are they happy with themselves? Are they okay with themselves? You got to come to that realization. You got to ask yourself that. And if the answer is no, if you see them, they too heady, they too in their head, they too beating themselves up. And I'm like that sometimes, and that's why I know that I'm one of them one. Like I know that if I get pushed to that edge, if I get pushed to that place, and somebody try my wife or my kids, that I could go all the way there. And me knowing that about myself, that's why I teach on it. And that's why I'm careful about it. That's why I'm mindful about it, and that's why I'm paying attention. I'm prayerful, and I'm very, very cognizant of it because I understand that shortcoming. And without God, without the Holy Spirit, a lot of people who are like that don't realize it. But like the Bible say, wherever there's temptation, there'll be a way of escape. So because I could see that that could be a shortcoming in me, God shows me that and makes me aware of that. And that's why I teach on it, to help others who may be in that same place but may not have been given the vision or the discretion or the wisdom or what have you. That's why I call it out, to say you got to know yourself. And so that man has always been that man. And you never know what he took his pain out on growing up. Like it could have first been like his teddy bear that he like cut up or ripped the eyes out. Then it could have been like an actual cat or dog that he like, murdered or killed in the street, shot with a BB gun, shot with a gun, hit in the head with a brick, with a rock. A lot of times people who take a human life have taken the life of like animals or like other things, where they felt like this sense of like relief or vindication or therapy or an outlet by taking out their pain. Taking out their pain. Y'all forgive me, my daddy right in the group chat for the boys program. And and so that right there, it happens a lot. And you got to be mindful of it. You got to realize and understand that these are the little things you got to pay attention to. Right? You got to evaluate this person. You got to evaluate their history, and then you got to evaluate their patterns, because they could come and appear to be smart, eloquent, loving, caring, ambitious, all of that. But once you see them red flags, and once them red flags start to break you down and beat you down, and you don't see them growing, you don't see them changing, you don't see them reading their Bible, praying, seeking the face of God, you don't see them making strides to be a better person, you got to drop everything you got going on and you got to run. Drop everything and run. And so trust me when I tell you, you don't want to stay with somebody and be dealing with somebody and you got to be able to get to a place just to realize and understand that if you don't pay attention, and I'm gonna tell you what happens. The thing that happens in these type of situations is a person will take and to fall they get you to fall in love. They get you to fall deeply, and they win you, and they get you to fall deeply, and they get you into that place, and they do so much good to where it's like, okay, 1,000 good acts. So when they do something, boom, you take off one, you take off one, you take off one. Then they do good, boo, 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 catch up, take off one, take off one. And they'll add and subtract so much before they level you all the way out to where you at zero or you're in the negative. But then here comes that one big act to where it's minus 500, but they had got you down to 200 left in the love account. And that one big act that's minus 500 is the act that takes your life. Minus 1,000, minus 10,000, whatever it is, whatever number you want to put on it. And that's the one that take your life. And you didn't know you should leave because they didn't zero you out, or they didn't put you in the negative. Your love account, your love bank, or love bucket, whatever you want to call it. They ain't zero you out. So you like, well, I still got life. Like, we still got hope. We still got something going. And you didn't realize that the other part was just the love bombing. And then the reality of who they are, that was who they were the most consistent. But those really big gestures of love is what threw you off. And now the deep part about this, and this a lot of people don't understand, the deep part about this is the caveats and nuances. Somebody who is pure could do the same thing as somebody who is impure. The difference between the two is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is with the person who is pure. They trying to work, they trying to grow, they trying to learn, they trying to be better. The person absent and void of the Holy Spirit is the one who will take your life. And so that's what you got to be mindful of, and that's what you got to pay attention to. But hey, this Tony Gasson, God bless you. I got to be back down there, I think, in 30 minutes, a little less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to get on up, get on ready. God bless you. Thank y'all to everybody who came out to Dallas. And y'all like, man, Tony was up in the room filming video while we down there in the seminar. God bless you. Nothing else right now going on. We got the Solopreneur Mastermind if you want to join that. It's not too late. And no other events right now that I could think of. To God be the glory. So for right now, y'all, we just need y'all supporting the boys program. It don't matter if it's $1, if it's $5. The link is in the description. It's two of them. One is like a fundraiser, and then the other one just like general donation. But all of it go to the same pot. So thank y'all so much. I'm just gonna say it. I love you. For those of y'all who donate to the boys program, I love you. I'm just gonna say it. I love you, need you, miss you, everything. Like that right there, that's my heart and soul right now. It takes a lot. I'm doing it on a level that no other program in the country is doing it on. Go to our Instagram page, Tony Gaskins Elite. Follow the page. Look at the houses that I got these boys staying in. The stuff I'm doing for these boys is no other club is doing it like this. And so, and it's all possible because of those of y'all who support. So thank you so much. God bless you. It's gonna make the government so mad they might try to shut us down. They might try to shut us down because if they against, you know, young men being poured into and being set up for success and shown, you know, love and support on their journey, they might try to shut us down. So y'all be ready for that. If they try to take our 501c3, I'm still gonna raise funds. It just ain't gonna be no 501c3. But I don't think they're gonna mess with us like that though. But God bless you. We'll talk soon.